There was a reply to an article I think you wrote in The Atlantic by Catherine Page Harden. Page has been on the show before, and she linked to a study, Sex Differences in the Developmental Trajectories of Impulse Control and Sensation Seeking from Early Adolescence to Early Adulthood. They really know how to name these journal publications.
They really do.
Riveting stuff. But the graph will be up on screen, and basically it shows that the age that boys or men have to be before they have the same average level of impulse control as a 10 to 11-year-old girl is age 24 to 25.
Yeah. I know. It's like
it does dip. It does dip a little bit during puberty to give it its due.
For girls as well.
Yes,
it does. Yeah, it's interesting. Of course, again, all the caveats about means and so on too. These are averages, but for sure, there's a huge difference in the development of impulse control, and that's really this concern about this prefrontal cortex. So the way that psychologists talk about impulse control, and the other side, it's in the same paper actually. So if we link to the paper, the other side of it is sensation seeking. So you've got impulse control and sensation seeking. And the way to think about that is, and this is how psychologists sometimes talk about it, it's like the gas or the accelerator and the brake, right? And during adolescence, you get a whole lot more accelerator and a bit not enough brake, and so that's when you do the crazy stuff as an imbalance. And then gradually the two start to balance out a bit more. But two things: one is the gap is much bigger, as that chart suggests. If you add sensation seeking to it too, there's just this huge gap. For boys and for girls. So it's bigger in adolescence for both, much bigger for boys than girls. There's difference. Boys are just all go, very little break for a few years. Like, tell me something. Again, these falls into the category of, tell my mum something she didn't know, right? She didn't need to read the Journal of Adolescence, whatever it is. But also the impulse control development does come much later for boys, as that chart shows, on average. And that's the kind of skill that does allow you, as I said, to study chemistry rather than go out. It's the kind of thing that allows you to just, work on your GPA, etc., or your practice for your exams at 16 and so on. And so it's just that, they're sometimes called soft skills or non-cognitive skills or whatever you want to call them. That's where the gap is. It's really important. Some people misunderstand my argument here. In terms of smarts, there's not that much difference in the development between boys and girls, but what really counts is actually, it is those skills. It is organization, impulse control, and so on too. And that paper that Catherine Page Harden did with Elizabeth Schulman and Larry Steinberg had quite a big influence on me.
Something that I've just